A trial date has been set for Matthew Quaglieri, the former Sun Prairie teacher charged with 3 counts of producing child pornography. NBC 15's Elizabeth Wattis is following up on the court proceedings. Elizabeth, you're told that a federal judge took a scheduling call today?
Yeah, John, Matthew Quaglieri's trial date is set for May 15th of next year. That according to a spokesperson for the U.S. Attorney's Office. We're learning more details about what led up to these charges. Quaglieri's attorney writing a letter to the judge saying the defendant walked into the school bathroom with an iPad under his arm and took videos of children. The attorney wrote Quaglieri found those videos arousing and that there was no physical contact or targeting of specific kids. The letter is dated a day before the court's decision to release the former teacher under certain conditions. Those include living with family outside of Dane County and being monitored by GPS. Just yesterday, the school district announced it's accepted Quaglieri's resignation, saying in part this decision would purge his teaching license before the state investigation is over. If convicted, Quaglieri faces 15 to 30 years in federal prison on each count of producing child pornography. Again, he's facing 3 of those. Live in the newsroom tonight, Elizabeth Wattis, NBC 15 News.